My brothers and sisters, if you have ever felt awkward when it comes to personal hygiene, or if you haven't yet felt that way in your social gathering that someone have told you, hey, you smell bad, hey, you gotta look after your personal hygiene, then this is probably be the last ever video that you have to watch, because after this you going to improve your personal hygiene. I'm telling you, being an international student and going through that journey and facing this criticism is the last thing that you ever want to face, because this will bring your morale down. This will bring your whole group, being an Indian or like you belongs to India, bring you down. Like it's just gonna shatter you down. That's it. So in this video, I'm gonna give you three things, right? Number one, I'm gonna tell you why personal hygiene is important. I'm gonna give you my story, how I came to realize this. That's why I take it super, super serious. I don't take it lightly. I take it serious, especially when it comes to I'm going to a social gathering or going to college or going somewhere else to meet someone. And also, I've got this lifestyle where I do have a rough job in a day, which is just working at a warehouse in messy environment. And afterwards, I do go out and meet my clients to have a bit of like, formal experience and engagement with people. And afterwards, I'm going to give you number two, a tip to tell you if you are following number one and you still smell bad or your clothes still smell bad, how you can avoid it. And number three, I'm going to give you some journal tips that you can follow to improve your personal hygiene or to remove that bad smell from your body. All right, so I'm going to give you this story. In 2018, simple. I like telling stories, especially, when you have accumulated some lessons from something. Those stories are like treasures. No one can have it. So in 2018, I went to Singapore and I came to Singapore in a way that, I didn't have any personal hygiene. I didn't even know. We didn't bother to put a deo on ourselves. Like back in school in India, right? I used to play kabaddi, and a lot of my friends, we were just messy. We would do a workout, exercise, and then we would just play. We would take shower for sure, but we never bother putting a deo on. We never bother even, taking shower quickly. So it was more of like you sweat, you let it rest, and then the sweat is actually on your clothes and it's dried up, and now you smell bad. And you would have that confidence of walking into any social gathering or walking with group of friends or group of people back in India, because you wouldn't bother that someone can get disappointed with that particular thing. But now I think people are getting more educated, things are changing. But still overseas, like in these international countries, like overseas countries, western countries, right, there is still a stereotype towards Indians, and most of them, they have changed their lifestyle already. But a lot of new international students, or some of them, I would say from north and south, they are still following their old ways and they're just not looking after their personal hygiene without knowing them that they are actually causing trouble to other people or to themselves. They just don't know. So the story begins like this in 2018. That was my first ever job. I found a job at a Middle Eastern restaurant as a waiter. Okay, that was my first ever job. He asked me, okay, you gotta show up tomorrow at 2 p.m. We're gonna do night shift. Make sure you wear black shirt and black pant, because that's what you're gonna wear. That's your dress code. And I'm like, okay, I would do that. And I dressed up, went to now, when I reached the restaurant, right, and their restaurant is like 5 to 10 kilometers away from where I was staying. And I definitely took a bus to reach Midway, but afterwards I had to walk. And the restaurant was situated in Sultan Masjid. Some of them, if you don't know, there is a street called Arab Street. It's quite famous in Singapore. So that restaurant was situated on that street, right? And I have worked pretty much on all these restaurants, whatever was on that street at that time. I worked. So that was my first ever job, worked there. So midway, bus brought me, but afterwards I had to walk. And it's like sunny in the afternoon, and you could say it's a bit hot as well. And when I was walking, I was sweating. And I didn't bother. When I reached there, had a glass of water, and he explained, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. There was a manager, and I understood in whatever way I could understood. And then what happened, that restaurant had two settings, right? One for people who smoke, they could just go outside. There were some tables and chairs outside, so people can just eat and like drink and have a smoke outside. And inside, there were some nice sofas, cushions, and some of the tables and nice air con, like good environment. There's some incense going on and stuff, and a really really nice environment. So around 3:45, that's my first ever customer that I had to attend. So a family came in. I think the guy was also one of the manager's friend, or maybe he was just regular. I went to them and I just greeted them all, and I had like 3 4 menus with me. And when I was passing menu, I was just leaning my hand, like raising my hand, and I was passing menu to one another. And just right down here, right, just right next to me, guy was sitting, like the main guy. He was sitting like a head of the family, you could say. He was sitting. So when I was passing menu to his family members, and the guy, he smelled my underarms. He didn't say anything to me, but I passed them. I gave menu to them, and I went back to the kitchen area to actually, let them know, hey, there's like just giving heads up to the chef. Hey, there's a customer outside. Just be ready to cook and blah blah blah. This is what he told me to do. I did so. So when I came outside, I was keep observing the guys just keep looking at me, and the whole family is now looking at me, staring at me like this. Like they're just staring at me. Like, yes, they are reading the menu, but they're also staring at me. And the guy, when I just went to kitchen inside again, guy called my manager, and for sure he said this thing to my manager at that time, that this guy stinks. My wife didn't like the smell that he had from his body. Manager came to me. He was like, oh. He said, raise your arms. I raised my arms. Oh, smell bad. Yo. He was like Middle Eastern, but ayo is the expression of Singaporeans. So he said, oh, you smell bad, brother. Sorry, man, I can't let you work here. Can't let you work here. Because that customer is my regular. And he complained about you. I can't have you serve him. For sure, if he have complained, others would complain as well. Brother, I can let you go. Tomorrow you come, you make sure you buy a deodorant. He tell me even, like what to buy. Bro, straight up, I'm telling you, I was so sad and pissed. Come on, like I didn't even notice that this could happen. But this actually happened. I didn't know that somehow in world, someone would just fire me, or someone would just say, bro, go home, you cannot work here because you smell bad. Straight up, I went to a dollar shop in Singapore and I bought that roll, the deal. Cost me only $1. Went home, took shower, and I made sure that I put it like nice. At that time, I had a bit of hairs grown in my armpits, also under my armpits, and I had shaved them as well. So I know I'm explaining this story to you. It sounds so bad. You don't want to hear this at all. But bro, this could happen. I'm just telling you the worst and the worst. That happened, and I started applying from that day until now. until now. I make sure wherever I go, I at least don't have the bad smell. And the second thing, which I found out way later, right? Way, way later. And that was, it's not about my underarms. I was looking after myself, but it was my clothes. My clothes would smell like spices, like curry. And now, look, you got this confidence because you know you shower every day, you look after yourself. But why you still smell bad? Why there is still smell of curry from your clothes? And this is what was happening. And there is a story as well. So I got this job in 2019 with one of the Chinese event management company, and they would organize Chinese events, right? Basically, like cultural Chinese events. That I don't want to be like some sort of bad guy or like some sort of racist here, like Chinese and arrogant and stuff. So that was the company that basically focused on organizing or hosting Chinese cultural events. They wouldn't host any other events, only Chinese cultural events. So I was one of a part timer in their team. And here again, I was wearing some red t-shirts and I was working like a regular part timer guy with them. Okay. Worked for like 2 3 months. And now this is what was happening. They gave me two shirts and I was just wearing one for you rotate those t-shirts, like you wash one and then you wear one. This is how I was doing. So looking after my hygiene, I already know that I gotta be really, really specific in terms of like hygiene, and especially when it comes to Asians, they are quite particular about it. They don't smell bad by themselves, and they want to make sure someone who's around them, especially someone who's serving them, someone who is in around their family and giving them some sort of customer experience, they want to make sure that person is presentable. And well, it's not something they want to make sure. This is something that you should be looking after also, because you are offering a customer service, right? So I was quite confident that I'm putting deodorant, I'm looking after myself, my body's clean and da da da. Yes, I went to this event and I'm still smelling like curry there. And one of my team leader who was looking after all the part-timers want to make sure that no one is slacking off, every customer is getting whatever they're supposed to get and blah blah blah. So he came to me, is like, bro, actually your clothes smell a bit bad. Like, he didn't tell me openly or someone like complained to. It was just we were having this normal discussion. He was just passing by and he sniffed. It's like, bro, did you wash your t-shirt? I said, yeah, bro. Like, this is new. I'm changing t-shirt every day. Now he said, nah, bro, it smells like a bit spicy, Indian spices. Like, did you go to any Indian spicy shop and stuff? I said, no, bro, just coming straight up from home. But he said, nah, bro, that smells bad. And I came home, right? And if you are from Singapore, if you have lived there, you may know that there are a lot of HDB buildings where you have kitchens and then you soak, like you dry your clothes, wash clothes outside, like on some wooden stands and stuff. Like, this is where you usually hang your clothes to dry up. So what was happening at that time? Okay, I would wash my clothes and I would hang outside like interns. A lot of other students used to live there as well. I was living and sharing. And we would cook Indian food and all the spices would just go into food. But the smell would go outside, right? All the spices, like whenever you boil something or you cook something or you deep fry something, spices are there. The ash is gonna go up, like or steam's gonna go up, and we would just open window and they're gonna go outside. Then I realized what was happening, because my clothes were outside and all my other housemates also, their clothes used to be outside also. Our clothes were wet enough, and when someone would just cook next to them, they would soak that spicy smell. They would soak those smell of spices. Then I figured out, bro, this is what's happening. And this could be happening right now with you as well. When you cook at your home, you want to make sure all the doors of your bedroom or wherever you're hanging your clothes and stuff, they are closed. So the smell in the air of spices and stuff it doesn't go to your bedroom. At least your house doesn't smell like those spices. Make sure all the windows are open. Make sure it's properly ventilated and stuff. I'm not telling you some BS. I'm just telling you this is what's happening. If after doing all the things, your all clothes still smell like curry, probably this is something that you are overlooking. Maybe you have never think like that way before. So you want to start paying attention to it. Make sure your clothes are well taken care of and they are properly sealed and they are away from your kitchen area. If someone like who's already doing it, very good. But if no, I want you to start doing it so that smell of spice doesn't go to your clothes, right? And third, let's just talk about a bit of things that you can apply, after doing maybe deo or after keeping your clothes away. You still feel like the smell doesn't go away from your body, right? If this is what you're feeling at the moment, then probably you can start applying a couple of things. Number one, right? Reduce your spices intake. Brother, whatever you put in your body, that actually comes out as well through your sweat, however you are, because that would just be in your body all the times, most of the time. So you want to make sure that all the spices that you consume, you just reduce them a bit. Please start eating a bit of clean food as well. If you want to eat spicy food, eat it once a day. Maybe another meal you can just have something clean, something without spicy. Just boil it, maybe have a bit of salt and stuff. Right? Do that. Number two, please, 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 if you only take shower once, start taking shower twice. And start shaving your armpits, start shaving your body hairs and stuff, whatsoever. Because when you sweat, those bacteria, they do stick with your, body hairs. So you want to make sure you shave them regularly. And another thing that you want to do, please consume more yogurt because that would help you. I don't know why, but I've been doing it now. What I do instead of just having yogurt with every meal or stuff, I have yogurt drink. Every day I would just come home, make my yogurt drink, and I put black salt, Himalayan salt, whatever you like. You give it a good grind, and then you drink it, have it, enjoy. It's a good snack as well. You can do the same. It's good. And also, if any of these tips doesn't help you at all, but I want you to be conscious about it. I want you to Google it. Please make sure whatever you can do to actually improve your lifestyle so you don't smell bad. Start looking after your personal hygiene, and that is important. Because when you are smelling good, start wearing a perfume as well if you have to, right? If you like something, go buy a cheap one which is decent but good quality but a bit affordable. Like Boss is good, Calvin Klein is good. You can pick some of them, and they're really good though. Start wearing a perfume, not perfume, that's more of an Indian way, perfume, and make it as your signature smell of your body, right? Make it as something that you will always carry along with you. Do that. Please look after yourself. That is important because this will give you confidence in social gatherings. I don't want someone or even yourself you say, smells bad. Nah, bro, I don't want you to get fired as well, right? And another thing, if you'll start looking after yourself better, right? It's not just only about working out and then you will get confidence because that's the only way to look after yourself. No. Looking after yourself, in terms of hygiene, that's also self-love. That is also something that you can do for yourself to improve your confidence. Because when you are clean, when you are looking after yourself, you can confidently go and approach girls, go and approach people. You can go and talk to others. And I'm telling you, if you're feeling like girls are not talking to you, other people are not talking to you, this is something that is going on. Maybe you haven't realized it, but go start looking after it properly. All right. And with that, I want to close this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, because this is what I do. I help international students to thrive as an overseas student in terms of their side hustle life, student finances, and I try to make a video every single day. But even though you don't get it, you will still have like 3 to 4 videos every single week. Okay, so if you don't want to miss out on anything, subscribe to this channel and let me know in comments what do you think about it. Bye bye.